Hello everyone, this is your channel Physics with Shomita and I am Shomita Gupta Roy, and today we are going to study about forward biasing of PN junction diode. Okay, so a PN junction diode, it is a semiconductor device and it has the characteristic of passing current only in one direction. Okay, now a PN junction diode, if you have not seen the video on PN junction diode and extrinsic semiconductor, please visit Physics with Shomita and see those videos on PN junction. It consists of negatively charged acceptor ions with equal number of holes on the P side. On the P-type material, it consists of holes as the majority carriers with equal number of negatively charged acceptor ions, and electrons are the majority carriers on the N side, N region of the PN junction with equal number of positively charged donor ions. So what are acceptor ions, what are donor ions? You know the P to make an extrinsic P-type semiconductor, we dope it with acceptor impurities. Okay, like trivalent impurities. To make a N-type semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor, we dope it with pentavalent impurities. They are donor impurities because they donate an electron to the crystal, and this acceptor impurities, since they are trivalent and the fourth valence bond, they cannot form the fourth valence bond with the silicon atom. They just see this diagram. This diagram where this is a trivalent aluminium and it cannot form the fourth valence bond with silicon, so it will accept an electron by breaking a covalent bond. Silicon-silicon covalent bond breaks and an electron it accepts, okay, thus forming the fourth valence bond. So since it is accepting an electron, the aluminium becomes negatively charged. Okay, it is now having 4 valence electrons in its outermost shell, actually 8 because it is sharing. So this becomes negatively charged. Okay, since it is accepting one electron, it becomes negatively charged acceptor ion. Okay, similarly phosphorus, it donates one electron. It is pentavalent with 4 valence electron. It forms 4 covalent bonds with neighboring silicon atoms, and the 5th valence electron it gives to the crystal. So it is donating one electron to the crystal and it becomes donor ion. Positively charged. Why positively charged? Because one electron it is losing from its from itself, so it is becoming positively charged donor ion. Okay, so and now so this is it. And when the PN junction is formed, then there is immediate diffusion of this electrons from N region to P region and holes from P region to N region. Okay, and near the junction there is recombination of electrons and holes. What do you mean by recombination? That electron hole combine and they disappear. There is disappearance of electrons and holes, leaving only the negatively charged carriers at the junction on the P side. Negatively charged acceptor ions at the junction near the P side, and positively charged donor ions at the junction near the N side. So these acceptor ions and donor ions are immobile charge carriers. They cannot move. So this region is depleted or free of charge carriers, that is electrons and holes. Mobile charge carriers. This region is depleted of mobile charge carriers, that is electron or hole. And it consists of immobile charge carriers, that is immobile charges, not carriers, immobile charges, that is negatively charged acceptor ions and positively charged donor ions, and this region is called the depletion region. Okay, it is depleted of mobile charge carriers. This is an insulating region and an electric field is set up, a potential difference is set up. You can see from positive and this is positive and this is negative, so there is a potential difference. Since there is a potential difference, there will be a barrier field, electric field, directed from positive to negative always. This will no longer let the majority carriers, that is electrons from N region, to diffuse into the P region, or holes from P region to diffuse into the N region. Because you know electrons, it moves opposite to the direction of an electric field. F equal to QV. Electrons move when there is an electric field E. It exerts a force F on the charge Q. If the charge Q is an electron, it will move opposite to the direction of electric field. So this barrier field will not let the electron from N region to cross the junction and go to the P region. And holes move in the direction of the electric field. You know, positive charges move in the direction of electric field. So holes also cannot cross the junction and move to the N region. Okay, but this electric field will help minority carriers to cross the junction. Okay, minority carriers like holes in the N region can cross the junction because holes will move being positive charge, it will move in the direction of the electric field. Similarly, electron or minority charges in the P region, and electrons can move opposite to the direction of the electric field. That is what it is. Negative charges move opposite to the direction of electric field. Positive charges move in the direction of the electric field. So minority charges can cross the junction, but majority charges cannot cross the junction. So a brief recapitulation of what we have done till now in extrinsic PN junction diode. And now let us begin with forward biasing of PN junction. This is the symbol of PN diode, PN junction diode. Okay, the arrow is the P region and the bar is the N region. Okay, and we also call it anode. Okay, that there are two terminals coming out from the one from the P and other from the N. The P side is called the anode, the N side is called the cathode, and the direction of the arrow gives the conventional direction of current when the diode is forward biased. Under forward bias condition, it gives the conventional direction of current, that is from P to N. P to N, positive to negative. That is how the current flows from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. Okay. Now, in absence of an external battery, there is no current in a PN junction diode. There is no current in a PN junction diode in absence of an external battery. Why? Because a few majority carriers can overcome this barrier field and may cross. Okay, like electrons from N region may cross and go to the P region. Similarly, holes from P region may cross and come to the N region. They can overcome this barrier field and can cross. This can set up a current, but this current will be exactly balanced by the reverse current set up by the minority charge carriers. What are the minority charge carriers? Holes in the N region, electrons in the P region. So holes can easily move from here to here. Electrons can easily move opposite to the direction of the electric field. So the current that is set up by the majority charge carriers by crossing the junction, a few of the majority charge carriers may overcome the barrier field and cross the junction. This may set up a current, but that will be exactly balanced by the flow of minority charge carriers across the junction. So the net current across a PN junction is zero. PN junction diode is zero. Okay, now coming to forward biasing of PN junction diode with the topic that we are going to do today. The positive terminal of the battery, this is the battery, the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the P region and the negative terminal of the battery is connected to the N region. You can see it in the diagram. Okay, the positive terminal, okay, just hold on. Hold on a bit. Okay. The positive terminal repels holes. The positive terminal of the battery, it repels the holes. P region consists of holes, you know. N region consists of electrons as the majority carriers. P region consists of holes as the majority carriers. And this is the depletion region. And this is the barrier field from the positive to negative. Positively charged donor ions to the negatively charged acceptor ions. This is the direction of the electric field. Okay. Now the positive terminal repels holes towards the junction. Okay. The positive terminal of the battery will repel the holes and the holes will move because holes being positively charged. So holes will move towards the junction and where they will neutralize this negatively charged acceptor ions. Similarly, the negative terminal of the battery will repel the electrons and the electrons will move towards the junction where they will neutralize the positively charged donor ions. So at the junction, the negative, now you can see at the junction, the ions on both sides of the junction is neutralized. The holes are neutralizing the negatively charged acceptor ions. The electrons are neutralizing the positively charged donor ions. So at the junction, on both sides of the junction, the ions are neutralized. The width of the depletion region decreases. Okay, these ions make up the depletion region, right? So if the ions are neutralized, then the width of the depletion region decreases. So what is the effect of the battery voltage in the forward bias? The effect of the battery voltage is to reduce the barrier potential across the junction and allow the majority carriers to cross the junction. If the depletion region decreases, that means the barrier potential decreases. More and more ions getting neutralized, okay, by holes moving towards the junction is neutralizing the negatively charged acceptor ions, and electrons moving towards the junction and neutralizing the positively charged donor ions. So more and more ions getting neutralized, the width of the depletion region decreases, the barrier potential decreases. Okay, and if the barrier potential decreases, then it becomes easy for the majority carriers to cross the junction. Try to understand. Majority carriers can now cross the junction. Okay, so how is the current produced? An electron leaving the negative terminal of the battery, an electron can leave. See, an electron leaving the negative terminal of the battery and moving through the connecting wire to the terminal of the N region. Okay, through the connecting wire, it enters the N region where it becomes a majority carrier. Okay, electrons are majority carriers in the N region. So majority carriers can move a larger distance through that region. Okay, so majority carriers, electrons being majority carriers over here, can move like this. Okay, through the N region, because the negative terminal will push the electrons away from it. So the electrons will move towards the junction. Okay, and already the barrier potential has decreased. The depletion width of the depletion region has decreased because the external applied electric field is opposite to the direction of the barrier field. You can see. So the width of the depletion region has decreased. The net electric field is will aid the majority carriers to cross the junction. So an electron leaves the negative terminal of the battery, flows through the connecting wire and reaches over here and is repelled by the negative terminal of the battery, moves all the way through the N region towards the junction. The width of the depletion region is decreased, so it can easily cross the junction and it will it will be combined with the hole. So so you can see when the recombination occurs, because of the recombination there is a disappearance of the electron hole pair. Okay, recombination, because of when the electron falls into the hole, there is a disappearance of the electron hole pair. Okay, so for each disappearance of electron hole pair at the junction, the covalent bond breaks at this edge near the positive terminal of the battery. Why does this happen? For each recombination of electron hole pair at the junction, the electrons are passing through the potential barrier and coming to this side, recombines with the holes, and there is disappearance of the electron hole pair. For each disappearance of electron hole pair, there is a break of covalent bond at this region near the positive terminal. Why does this happen? Because you see, this is because a material at thermal equilibrium has generation and recombination rates that are balanced so that the net charge carrier density remains constant. Okay, net charge carrier density, the generation and recombination rates. So when there is a recombination, there is a generation of electron-hole pair. The covalent bond breaks and an electron-hole pair is generated. The generation and recombination rates are equal. Okay, so it is further it can be said that the product of electron-hole densities, that is Ne and NH, is constant. Ne, NH, that product of Ne is the electron concentration, NH is the hole concentration, and that is equal to Ni square, the intrinsic carrier concentration. At equilibrium, this is the formula, and is maintained by recombination and generation occurring at equal rates. Means if there is a disappearance of electron-hole pair by recombination, there will be generation of electron-hole pair by breaking of covalent bond. Okay, when there is a surplus of charge carriers, like when this NeNH becomes greater than the square of the intrinsic carrier concentration, the rate of recombination becomes greater than the rate of generation. Okay, if this becomes greater, then the rate of recombination, means the disappearance of electron-hole pair, becomes greater than the breaking of covalent bond and production of electron-hole pair. So thereby driving the system back to equilibrium. Again, when NeNH becomes less than Ni square, the rate of generation becomes greater than the rate of recombination, again driving the system back to equilibrium. Now listen. So there is a recombination of electron-hole pair at the junction, disappearance of electron-hole pair, and there is a break of covalent bond and a generation of electron-hole pair over here. Of the electron-hole pair generated, there is an electron generated, there is a hole generated. Of the electron-hole pair generated, the electron will move like this. Through the connecting wire, the electron will move to the positive terminal of the battery. The hole generated will move towards the junction. Okay, the hole generated will move towards the junction and recombines with the electron. Okay, will cross the barrier and recombines. Of the electron-hole pair generated, the electron will move through the connecting wire to the positive potential, because it will be attracted by the positive potential of the battery, and the hole will move towards the junction, will cross the barrier potential, because the width of the depletion region is now less. It will cross the barrier potential, and there is another recombination with the electron. Okay, the circuit is complete. You can see the electron is coming like this. This is the direction of the flow of electron. This is the direction of the flow of electron, and the electron is leaving the negative terminal of the battery and moving towards the N region, as I have told you. So this is the direction of the motion of the electron, and the current will move in the opposite direction. This current is called the forward current. The circuit is complete. The current will move in the opposite direction, and this current is called the forward current. Okay, now moving to the VI characteristic curve. The curve, nature of the curve is exponential. You can see it's an exponential curve and not linear like that of a resistor. So Ohm's law cannot be used over here for the operation of PN junction diode. Okay, it is an exponential curve. Exponential. Okay, let us take a germanium PN junction diode. We have taken a germanium PN junction diode, and there is a milliammeter because we measured the forward current in milliamperes. There is a voltmeter applied across the PN junction, parallel to the PN junction, to measure the voltage, and there is a battery with a potentiometer, so that we can adjust the voltage of the external voltage, that is voltage of the supplied by the battery. Now we vary the voltage across the diode, okay, by adjusting the battery, and we start from 0 volt and then we increase to 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Now let us take the readings of the voltmeter and milliammeter each time we adjust the battery, and finally we plot the voltage along the forward bias voltage along the x-axis and the forward current along the y-axis. Forward voltage in volt and forward current in milliampere. From the graph, what we will observe? We'll observe that the diode does not conduct at all, And in the initial stages, the current is 0. You can see that in initial stages, the current is 0. It does not conduct at all in the initial stages. From 0 to 0.3 volt, we are seeing the ammeter reading is 0. From 0 to 0.3 volt, the ammeter reading is 0. The y-axis reading is 0 from 0 to 0.3 volt. Okay, this means the diode is not conducting current from 0 to 0.3. From 0.3 and up, the diode starts conducting, and the current through the diode increases linearly with the voltage. As the voltage is increasing, the current through the diode increases like a straight line. The graph is a straight line. It increases linearly with the voltage, much like that of a resistor. Okay, it is like Ohm's law, like a conductor, much like that of a conductor. Okay, with the voltage, the current is increasing linearly from 0.3. So what we can conclude that the barrier potential of germanium is 0.3. And when the applied voltage becomes equal to 0.3, then only the diode starts conducting. I mean to say that when this voltage becomes equal to this barrier potential, okay, because the barrier potential is opposing the motion of current. So when this external voltage becomes equal to barrier potential and then overcoming the barrier potential, that means the width of the depletion region will further decrease, then only the diode starts conducting. The external voltage, and this is the barrier potential, say Vi. So when V greater than or equal to Vi, then only the diode starts conducting. Okay. So this 0.3 is the barrier potential for germanium. For silicon, it is 0.7 volt. Okay. So when the applied voltage becomes equal to barrier potential, diode starts conducting and current through the diode increases linearly with voltage. Current increases linearly with voltage. The voltage from which the diode starts conducting and below which the current through the diode is 0 is called the cut-in voltage, or this voltage is called the cut-in voltage or knee voltage. That is all about the forward bias and forward bias characteristic, and in the next video we'll be doing the reverse bias and VI characteristic curve for reverse bias diode. Okay, thank you.